Hey guys, how are you now? Just at my man cave. It's Monday, month and a half on vacation now. Well, I'm just on Pogie, but it's like a vacation, only with less money. So out here, I'm doing a little body work on my body. We went over to the track yesterday, just a last minute thing, me and the neighbor, because both the trucks were charged up and more or less ready to go. We wanted to see how the Losi was going to perform after last year's crash with the chassis bend. Didn't get a new chassis. We just took it to a machine shop and they bent it back pretty much 99%. So ended up putting lengthier screws in, and the shorter ones barely met where they needed to be. So just stuck a couple of longer ones in, and it met up perfectly. So yeah, I'm out in the garage, just doing some body work on my Baja 5T body again. So I'm dremeling and sanding and all that other shit to try to get all this plastic weld off. So I've sanded it down quite a bit. I gotta fix this crack again because yesterday I was kind of bashing it a little bit and she came apart again. But I have another idea. I just called Benson's Auto Parts. I've been trying to call them all morning. I finally got a hold of them. I'm getting some of my plastic weld, JB Weld plastic weld again. And when I came out of the ditch yesterday, first thing I noticed, I didn't notice it throughout the whole video, but I did my little speed run when I went by. And after I did the speed run, I ended up coming around the corner. I haven't done the brake adjustment on this since last year, and there's probably a little bit of WD-40 still in that area. So the brakes aren't locking up. I need to get in there and clean it up a bit and do a little adjusting. But they were stopping pretty good in the grass. But on the pavement, because of these hostile tires, it doesn't want to lock up on the pavement. It just kind of slows it down. And when I came around the bend to go back into the field, I ended up hitting this red gas can that was sitting behind my truck because I couldn't stop. And it was better to hit that than my actual vehicle, which I almost did hit too. It just came close right under the tailpipe. But it would not slow down on that pavement. I have to do that brake. Grass, it was slowing down perfectly fine. But I was going from ditch to the other side, and the one time I came up, I actually did a wheelie out of the ditch, and it pulled this body apart again. The back of the body nailed the ground, and it just yanked it apart again. Didn't do any crashes, didn't roll it. It's just these bodies are so long in the back, they're so lengthy because the wheel well's here, and then you have all this body here. So I'm trying to debate, I'm actually debating what are the cut these. I've already lost a piece of this back bumper with this little side area here. It's been glued before, but I actually ripped it off last year. No idea where it went. So I'm debating whether to cut these right off. Both sides. Just cut them right off at the area here. That way it's not as low and it won't grab. Because I mean, when this thing wheelies, it's the first thing it does is it just hits that back area because it's the highest. Or the lowest of the ground, I should say. If it scrapes along here, it's not so bad because this is actually plastic spoiler. But you can see how many times I've tried to make this body a little stronger. This side is the side that's always been broken since the first time I dragged the back of the body up a hill and it just happened to rip it. This side's never broke. I should have did all this when I first got this truck to try to improve the body strength, but I waited until I actually broke it. So what I'm going to try this time, I've done the whole shoe goo with the mesh, and it's held up everywhere else but this side because this piece is actually broken right to here. So I've done the JB weld, I've done the plastic welds. This time I'm actually going to sand all this shit down. I've already sanded it down a little bit here. This stuff is bad to inhale, so I'm trying not to make a mess of it. So I'm going to finish sanding it down to get it flush again, and then I'm going to go back over it with this mesh tape, but I'm going to put the JB weld over the mesh tape instead of the shoe goo. And I think that's going to do a lot better than the whole shoe goo thing, because the plastic weld holds up pretty good on its own until you get a bad break, bad crash to make it come apart again. And I mean, I haven't had to do this in 2 years now. So I'm going to do the whole gonna go over it with this, but I'm gonna go over it with the plastic weld instead of the shoe goo. I think it'll work out a little better, double the strength. But other than that, the truck came out pretty clean still. Low-Z ran good. Idle needs to be turned up a little bit, but other than that, it's running good. And yeah, this thing, I mean, they both stayed pretty clean. I think I may have a little bit of a rear shock leaking going on again. I had to put my original muffler back on because my last tailpipe or tune pipe broke. And with the whole coronavirus going on, I'm getting kind of low on cash since I'm not working hourly. I'm only on Pogie. So I don't want to be spending any crazy money. I got tons of parts. I just don't have an exhaust for this truck now. But the stock one's a little quieter. It's still got back pressure. Does the job. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into these shocks. I don't know if it's just the oil from the exhaust leaking on the shocks, or if the shocks are actually leaking at the top. So I'll have to look at them. Hit the compressor, blow it out again, and see if it's actually leaking out the shocks or if it's just the oil from the exhaust. Anyways, just thought I'd come on really quick. Yeah, that gas can, when I hit it yesterday, it actually creased the body. So I must have hit it and it bounced up into the window area. Because if you look at the video, you can see the whole front, the actual windshield was all pushed down, the roof to the windshield. And I didn't even notice it the whole time I was running the truck until the very end. I went, what the fuck? But now that I look back, you can actually hear the body crinkle when I hit the gas can. But it popped right back out at the end. I just wish I had have noticed it right away so it wasn't pushed in through the video, because it looks kind of stupid if you notice it. Anyways, that's all, guys. Just thought to come on, show you what I'm up to. I might start doing a little more videos since I'm not working, and it probably won't be for a couple more months. The whole coronavirus is really taking a friggin' toll on everything here, so just thought I'd come on, say hey, and show you what I'm up to. See what I can do with this body again. Thanks for watching.